on, people. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Guess what? We are back in this mother. And look, we got some new people sitting up in this piece. Welcome back to Wind Down Wednesdays. And I am your host, and my name is Sandy. And I have some dear friends with me. And to my right, can you say who you are, sir?
My name is Terrence Forte.
The Terrence Forte. And we also have a guest in the house again. You know, every once in a while you got to pick up the phone. You got to say, hey, can you come in today, girl? Can you make it? Of course, my dear friend, who?
Andrea Taylor.
Andrea Taylor, because the last time she was in here, we was talking about that marriage thing and what was going on with the fiance and all that stuff. But today, guess what? 'Tis the season. The holidays are here. And guess what? We're going to talk to you about self-defense. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all didn't know this, but my friend right here, 7 times 7. He's a 7-time black belt. 7. Did you hear what I said? 7. So that means that he knows how to chop them up, lay them down, and do whatever he got to do. Bruce Lee. Here, Bruce Liam. Bruce Liam, okay? So we're here to help talk about some things as far as self-defense, what you can do to protect yourself, because it is the holiday season. You know, people going to be walking around with bags and groceries, and, you know, I don't want nobody to steal my gift that you might be out there, you know, in the parking lot with. I need my stuff. So, what you got to tell us about that self-defense, Officer Forte? Oh, my bad. He going to tell you that part, too.
Retired
Officer Forte.
No, all jokes aside, pretty serious topic today. We talk about self-defense. You know, the protection of oneself or another from imminent physical danger or threat of physical harm. It is the reaction to perceive a threat and then response to the threat. So what we have here in the United States is we've got something like 900,000 people assaulted a year, mainly females. So when you start talking about, when you talk about somebody trying to rob you, the first thing that I teach anybody when it comes to martial arts, whether it's CCW or whatever, is situational awareness. The first thing that you have to master when you're out there, especially by yourself, is situational awareness. You need to be aware of what's going on around you at all times. So if you are out at Macy's somewhere and you're shopping good and you come out in that parking lot with all them bags in your hand, then you need to do a cursory check of the parking lot as soon as you come out of that building. And if possible, come out the building with other people. Maybe they got bigger bags than you. Maybe they'll become the victim.
They done spent the most money,
Okay.
that is, I guess.
So, the big thing is be aware of your surroundings and have a plan. Now, talking to everybody, but especially women, they tell you all the time, when you walk into the car, have your keys in your hand. If you got to go down in that big old bag of yours to find them keys under duress, you're not going to find them. So as soon as you come out them doors, control them bags and control them keys. Have a plan. If somebody wants to take your bags, they bigger, stronger, tougher, then you got a decision to make. Are you going to let the bags go, or are you going to fight for your goods? You got to evaluate each situation as it approaches you. When it comes to stronger, younger, and I like to say crazier people,
like me,
you're going to need special skills to defend yourself.
I ain't got no special skills, though.
So, situational awareness is about personal safety and keeping yourself at all times. Preparation is the word. You got to sit down sometime. You got to watch the news. You got to read the paper. And you got to see what's going on with other people. And ask yourself, what would I do if that happened to me? That's part of situational awareness. The environment that you're in, the neighborhood that you're in, it don't make no difference. We can become victims anywhere in the United States. So, we think about inner cities. That's not the only place you can become a victim. You could become a victim going to visit grandma and your car break down on I-75 going through Cincinnati. And somebody ride by and see you out there with that deer in the headlight look in your face. And all of a sudden you become what we call a VU, a victim of opportunity. Mm-hmm. All right? That's something I learned way before I became a police officer. I had an incident on the highway one time. My neighbor was a Warner Robins police officer. And I told him about my incident. And he said to me, he says, Terrence, you mean to tell me that you want to become a VOO? I say, what's a VOO? He say, victim of opportunity. When the incident on the highway happened, we was at high speeds, and this other person didn't have no fear or no concern about what I was capable of doing. So I came to the conclusion he was well armed and well motivated. Plus, he had a faster car than me. But I evaluated all of that in the first 15 seconds. So nowadays, we hear about CCW. I recommend every American, especially females, take a self-defense course. Now, you may not take a course to earn a black belt, but you want to take a course to learn how to defend yourself. There's no rules in a fight.
Nope.
Now, when you said self-defense, do you teach self-defense classes?
I do teach self-defense.
You teach self-defense. Now, we all have daughters.
Yes,
you
we
got
do.
a daughter. I got a daughter, and Andrea got a daughter. So, did your children take your self-defense class, or did you do the in-the-house self-defense class?
They took the formal class, and at a certain point, I let them leave after I felt comfortable that they could defend themselves, especially my daughters. Okay? Now, let's not get it twisted. Men can become victims too, but I'm focusing on women today. Okay?
Because we the ones always out there spending money shopping during this time of the season.
So what I did when I got here today, or before I came, I Googled. Google's our friend. I said, how many women are assaulted a year in the United States? It says 1 out of every 6 American women has been victims or victimized in this country.
How many?
1 out of 6. Some statistics are higher. Okay? I said, how often does sexual assault occur in the United States? And it said every 98 seconds. Every 98 seconds. How many American women are kidnapped a year? It said between 800 and 900,000. 2,000 plus a day, and 5% are under the age of 18. So if situational awareness is working, and I'm going to say this because somebody's going to definitely say this to us, I would assume that probably 50 or 60% of them people have ran away and don't want to be found. Okay? So if we take half that number and just decide these are people who want to get away from their family, their spouse, get away from everybody they know, we still got a huge number. Over 400,000 or 500,000 people being kidnapped. I'm sure we're aware of the situation in Cleveland and many other places.
Oh, yeah.
Where young women are being kidnapped and
Yep.
turned into sex slaves and all kinds of things. If we prepare our daughters from about the age of 4, they'll have a better chance the rest of their life if they encounter a situation like that.
But it's never too late.
Never too late.
No matter how old you are, you can still do it, and you can still take the self-defense classes, and you can either save yourself or somebody else.
Yes. I printed this out. Realize that anyone can find and locate you for about 95 cents. With all this technology we got today, they can follow you home. They can follow you to work. They can patch into your phone. I mean, I love the technology, but let's be aware that when we hit allow, we allow the people that service these phones to know where we at all times. It's like a GPS in your purse or in your pocket.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I disallow things.
But then the phones now too got it where it can locate you where you are. Like if you're in my area and you got your location on your phone, then I know you somewhere in my area because it popped up and it said, hey, Forte is over at so-and-so, or Forte is nearby is what it says.
Yes.
So I'm like you. Don't allow all that stuff on your phone because there is always a predator, somebody out there watching, wanting to, I guess, snatch you up, especially if you're a female. So I get it. 95? Did you say 95? 95 cents? It costs 95 cents for you to find me.
Yes.
0.95
Yeah.
cents.
And that's if they don't know how to do it for free. Okay?
Oh, how you do it for free? We can't tell you.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna tell you that now.
Now, I'm just being real. If you, and here's something I want to say to you. Every American, every female should be feeling safe. When she walks the street, when she jogs, whatever she's wearing, you should feel safe. But be aware that there are predators amongst us. Okay? We talk this little thing, and both of these ladies understand it. We call it the wolf, the sheep, and the sheepdog.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people don't like that conversation. And when I first heard it, I thought the gentleman who exposed it to the Americans was out of his mind until I did some research. And in reality, all he's saying is, if we're walking around in a country where we should be safe, then most of us is walking around every day in what we call condition white. Unaware, unprepared, and unconcerned. This is not the normal state of mind you need when you're away from home. That's condition white. You're just totally relaxed. Now, the three of us, we in condition yellow at the minimum all the time.
24/7.
Okay? Condition yellow, this is the normal state of mind when you're out in public, such as when you're running errands, visiting the grocery store, when you go to pick up things, when you go to visit people. You got to be conscious of what's going on around you. Now, by the time you get to condition orange, which means that you've been trained to be in the situational awareness mindset, now you see a potential threat. When you see that potential threat, space is your friend. If you let somebody walk up on you, you can look in their face, look at their hands.
Distance.
Okay? If you can't see a person's hands, you don't know what they got in their pocket, in their jacket, in their waistband. I teach my friends and I teach all of my martial arts students and family, if you're going to approach me from the front. Don't run up like we little kids and grab me from the back and then you get slammed on that concrete, because the concrete is undefeated.
Yes, it is.
It never loses. And I tell women, if a person is going to grab you from behind, you got to react immediately. You can't get them 2 or 3 seconds to start getting a control grip on you. As soon as somebody come out of the blind and grab you from behind, honey, I hope you got on some nice heels. You need to stomp them in the center of their feet. You need to take your head and hit them in the chin or in the nose, the back of your head. Now, if it winds up being one of your friends who out there playing, then, hopefully they got good health care.
Sorry about your love.
Yep, you shouldn't have been grabbing me.
Okay? So we don't play these games in our society anymore. If you're going to approach me from the front. And you should make sure all of your friends, loved ones, and associates understand that. We're not on the playground in elementary school. If you grab me from behind, I'm going to do something to defend myself, because I'm not going to give you that 2 or 3 seconds to take control of me. Okay? So all I'm saying is, and I know this is going to happen because it happens in our CCW class, somebody obviously got more knowledge than me, going to want to challenge me on the techniques that I'm telling you. And that's okay, because I'm sure it's people on my level and some superior. So if they can say something to help you, help me, help us, then I want to hear it. But what I told you about people grabbing you from behind, I've been living that way since I was 13. Okay? And I'm almost 60 now.
Yeah,
Okay.
buddy. And you a 7-time what?
Well, I'm blessed to be a 7th degree black belt.
7th degree. 7th. Y'all heard that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means that number is perfect. That's the perfect number. He is a 7th degree black belt. So guess what? You will not get over on this here, Mr. Forte. And you know what? He has taught me some things that I guarantee you ain't going to get past me either. I promise you that. It's going to be more than some darn heel in the middle of your foot.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And here's the deal. I got to give my style a plug, because if any of my associates see me here and I didn't get a style a plug, I'm in trouble. I took, since I was 13, a style called Tong Sudo Mudokwan. It is a Korean art. And yes, we can go to tournaments, and our people do very well in tournaments. But I spent 95% of my martial arts career preparing to defend myself in the street. The tournament wasn't important to me because it's rules in the tournament. It's officials to stop people. It's doctors standing on the side. When you're in the asphalt jungle, it's you and them.
Asphalt jungle.
Okay? So just get that in your mind, ladies. I don't want to scare you, because this is supposed to be Wind Down Wednesday.
It's Wind Down Wednesday.
And I'm up here talking about some topics that we all need to be aware of.
But
That's
you got
right.
to have a level of fear to survive.
Exactly.
Because if you don't have a level of fear, you won't know how to survive.
Exactly.
Am I saying that correctly?
You're
Yeah.
saying it. We call it the warrior mindset. Now, the average American, obviously only 1% of Americans serve in the military. 1%. Then we got a lesser percent, that's police, state troopers, sheriff deputies. So realistically, who's really protecting us? In the end, you got to protect you and yours. I mean, I'm here right now. I go to work every day. I've been working my whole life. I look at my daughters when they go out that house every day. Of course, they grown women now. I can't be with them. I had to teach them to protect themselves. I had to teach them situational awareness. I had to teach them to have their head on the swivel when they out there. Because that's what's important. Now, I got a little joke that I tell people. If you assault my daughter, you have no idea who daughter you assaulted.
No.
Okay? So we can't depend on Uncle Bob. I'm going to make my partner over here laugh because we all got them Uncle Bobs in our families.
Johnny.
I just seen him.
These are the people that took care of us when we were young. And you know how they say, I'll go to jail for mine? You know, all of us need some of those people in our life. We need somebody that's going to go to war for us when we're right. And they're going to console us when we're wrong.
Yep.
So, you know, I'm blessed. I got a huge family. I know this one over here got a huge family. And, you know, we believe in the law. Please don't get me wrong. And we expect the law to do what the law is supposed to do. But when seconds matter, the police are usually minutes away.
Correct.
Yes.
So you got to be prepared. I mean, if you want to take a CCW course, I strongly recommend that you do it. But understand that when you come out the CCW course, you just learned how to tie your white belt. See, when they give you the white belt, you don't even know how to tie it. So you go take an 8 or 12-hour course and put a deadly weapon in your hand. Remember, you just a white belt who learned how to tie the belt.
As a technique.
Okay? So what we recommend all CCW students is we say set up a schedule and at a minimum go out and train once or twice a month. Train with somebody with experience so they can show you what you need to do. I mean, if I could afford it, I would have an Abrams tank in my yard. But if I don't know how to operate that tank, it's not going to help me. That's the baddest tank on the planet.
He got an arsenal. That's all he just
Okay.
trying to say. To add to his arsenal, he would put that tank in the front yard.
But it's useless if I don't know how to use that tank.
It'd be a big old flower pot.
Yes, it would.
Okay.
Be. with some action on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you know, I mean, we're going CCW crazy in the United States right now. And even when I teach that, I teach what the state tell me I got to teach, and then I teach it from a black perspective. Because I understand what's going on out here with my people who legally carry. So I don't want my children to become a victim of, you know, so that's another issue, but that's one of the main things I've been doing in the last couple years.
And he's good at it. You know, like I said, we have daughters. And I'm going to tell you this little story when we were all working together. And my daughter went to China, you know, and that movie Taking It just came out, you know. And I was nervous as all get out. Scared, you know, didn't want to go nowhere. Still to this day don't want to go nowhere. But, you know, at some point in time, you just got to let it go. But so she was going to China with the basketball team. Nervous as all get out. So what did I say? You know, everybody that we hang around got a nickname, okay? So Mr. World Studies right here, who knows it all, knows, I mean, everything. There ain't no history he does not know.
He knows something about everything.
Everything. He said, if we got to go to China and get her, it was going to be me, him, and one other person, and we were going to go to China and tear it up and bring her on back here without any issue.
That's right.
And he meant that. I mean, and the other person that he was talking about is also a 7th degree black belt, and he about 7 feet tall. So we were going to get on the plane with nothing but us and an ID.
She said, we can't even take guns,
We
40.
can't take
No, no,
nothing.
I said, don't worry about it. Me and Big Dave Osborne got you.
We were going to it, and I meant that. And we was dead serious. We had to set the money aside for the ticket and everything. So my thing is, it's not that, you know, we don't want them to go nowhere, but when they do go places, we want them to be aware of their surroundings and where they're going and who's all around them and who's following them, because I do that now. Everywhere I go, I make sure if I park somewhere, it's in a well-lit area, especially if it's at nighttime. And then, of course, I never leave home without it. You know, it is always with me. But I am definitely trying to get my daughter
Right.
to get in the CCW class because I need her to learn how to pop that thing. So if anything happens, because she's out just as much as I am.
My daughter's been shooting since 10.
Yep.
Yeah, she sure has.
What color is it? Pink. It's like, you know. So that's what we would like, you know. And this is a self-defense. This is about self-defense. So the thing is, like Forte said, you can put keys in your hand. There are a lot of things that you can do when you're going out by yourself. You can put keys in your hands, and then if somebody, of course, you know, hit you, or grab you, DNA on keys, you know, you can always get pick up the keys and grab some DNA on.
And also
on who it
about
is.
pumping gas at night. Certain things you have to be, because we live in a time where people, he says, like, nothing's going to happen to me. And they're looking for an opportunity. Criminals just look for an opportunity. They don't have a make, model, or what they look like. They look for opportunities. And so therefore, if you're looking around, you're going to see them before they see you. And so, you know, you ever just walking and you just look like, oh, that look odd, and you look again? That's situational awareness. That little look. That little thing is like, oh, that felt different. That's being aware of your surroundings. That's not being paranoid. That's just like have your head on a swivel, because guess what? People are looking for opportunities, especially in the holidays. Money is tight around here. You see more and more people are doing strange things to get money. And some people just want to take something that don't belong to them. Don't be a victim. And how not be a victim, you have to claim it. You got to claim who you are.
Yep.
So walk with a purpose. Look around with a purpose. Because when you look like you're scared, that's when it's like they sense the fear.
It's like a dog can sense fear.
Yes. So therefore, if you look scared and you look like you say, somebody say boo to you, you're going to jump, they're going to say boo. Because they're looking for someone they can take over. Don't give anyone your power.
Yeah. You know, here's the deal. You know, I teach that you got to walk like you in control. When you see Bubba, you got to look Bubba in his eye. You don't drop your head like you don't have no self-esteem. Matter of fact, you look Bubba in his eye and say, how you doing today, sir? And you give him this look of confidence. See, Bubba wants to, here's another one that I know she heard me say before. You live in a nice neighborhood, you live in a cul-de-sac, and let's just say it's 7, 8 houses in that cul-de-sac. And 5 of them got the alarm sign in their yard. Well, the other 3 of us, we like, man, we ain't worried about it. We live in a good neighborhood. Well, Bubba not going to the 5 houses with the alarm sign. He going to the 3 houses that think that they safe. That's what happens when you drop your head and you lose your confidence. Bubba is looking for the sheep. He not looking for the sheepdog.
Man.
Okay? So just remember that. You know, I mean, hey, we got some exclusive neighborhoods around here, and believe me, they had their share of trouble.
Yes. They're the first, but those are the first neighborhoods that are hit.
Yeah.
Those are the first neighborhoods that are victimized. That's where things normally happen in those
And
nicer
that's where it's
neighborhoods.
quiet, because they don't want people to know that there's trouble in their neighborhood.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
And they hardly, they won't report every time that something happens to one of them or something happens to their property either. But you best to believe they probably got an alarm on it. But then, too, let's just even go back to the summertime in
Right.
those nice neighborhoods. They'll leave their darn door open
Yeah.
or unlocked. Patio door wide open,
Yeah.
thinking that they cannot be a victim.
Well, we see it all over the country.
yes,
This can't happen in my neighborhood. We're shocked.
it's happened everywhere.
Well, how many times are you going to be shocked? You can't zip code your way away from foolishness.
Hello. Oh.
Did
Okay.
you say zip code? I'm like, did y'all catch that? Y'all didn't catch that. Did y'all catch that? He said, zip code your way away.
From the crime.
From foolishness. That's right.
I'm glad I ain't zip code my way, because I'm straight from Alabama. Zip code, you there.
Yeah.
We all ain't got the same zip code. Maybe they be trying to area code their way away, too. What you think?
Yeah, they do.
Trying to pretend they live in another city. They live right there,
Yeah.
right around the corner.
Now, here's something that all of us blessed with. Every human being. You blessed with senses. Okay? You got to utilize your senses when you out there. It's that simple. Being constantly aware of your environment. When something seems strange to you, our good buddy Governor Williams,
Yeah, buddy.
he said if it looks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Quack, quack.
So if you're looking at a person and you feel like they got criminal intentions or they're going to do something to you, then prepare to deal with that. Now, I would like to tell you, with all of my training, I do everything humanly possible to avoid a fight. And I teach every student I ever taught that. If it's a way to avoid the fight, avoid the fight. It's only 3 rules in our martial arts organization. Avoid the fight, try hard to avoid the fight, win the fight, win the fight. See, that's it. I done did 2 things to try to avoid that fight. And I don't believe that when I knock you down, that the fight's over. Because I seen a guy fight a man one time. The aggressor got knocked down to the ground, and the other guy tried to walk away. Then the aggressor pulled out a gun and shot him.
Yep.
So think about that. Okay? Think about it.
Courtney liked that, what you said, Forte. She said, her comment was, she said, food for thought. When seconds matter, the police are normally minutes away.
That's a fact.
When seconds matter, usually the
Yes.
police are minutes away. Now, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever,
Even
minutes,
if it's 2 minutes.
they're normally minutes away.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
Courtney
how-
like that.
Because how long does it take somebody to kill you?
Seconds.
And let's talk about our young people like to walk around with those headphones in,
Yeah.
with their hoodies up,
Yeah.
and people are out there looking for you. They're looking for a victim.
Yeah, I mean, we got people walking in front of cars and
Yeah.
trains because they're walking and they so into their social media life that they literally walk in front of an automobile and wind up dead or in a wheelchair. And when I read about the gentleman walked in front of a train, I was done. The noise that a train makes. So obviously your situational awareness isn't there. Or just to step off a curve and fall and break your elbow.
But it happens. I mean, just like Andrea said, you know, they're into that phone. They can't hear. They got headphones in. You look at the kids now. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Everywhere they go, they walk around in the school, outside the school, at the basketball games, football games, in the mall. They got earplugs in.
Yeah.
You know, they just,
Yeah.
you can't even talk to them. Hey, you know, they got it so loud in their ears. So they aren't aware of their surroundings.
Well, and that's what the wolf is looking for.
Yep.
See, here's the thing about the wolf. Let's talk about him. He's a pack animal. He hangs with a crowd. Because realistically, he's a coward.
Coward.
Okay? But when it's him and 4 or 5 of his boys, they will take you down. But then the wolf is also an opportunist. He's looking for that person that's walking around like the sheep who's not aware of what's going around him. See, when he's hungry, he's aggressive. When he's not hungry, he's an opportunist. So when you out there running and we can hear your music across the street and you got the runner's high going and all your concentration in that case is not to get hit by a car, where are the rest of your senses at? I see it every day. Every day.
Yep.
I see people running and they got that runner's high and they trying to get that next mile in, and you roll your window down and you can hear their music. I mean, wow. Listen to your music, but keep it low.
Yep.
You know, now remember, on the runner's high, the only thing you really concentrating on is that next mile and not getting hit by a car. All the rest of your senses are numb. In my neighborhood, they getting ready for the flying pig.
Yes, Lord.
Every now and then I see one person out there running, but they usually running in a group, which is good. More safety in numbers. And I'm talking about some of these folks is running at 5 a.m. before they go to work. And they running at 7 p.m. before they go to bed because they getting ready to get into a great competition. I never seen anything to make me run 26 miles, but I got a lot of love and respect for them.
Me either. I ain't saying I won't, but I ain't seen it yet.
No.
And after all these
It's a
years, I
couple
don't
things
know
I'll
if
run
it's going-
26 miles for.
Yeah, I'm going to get there. I'll walk 26, jog, but run it, I look at that concentration. I got a lot of respect for that. You know.
One of our viewers, like Tony Ann Pickett, she said, be mindful of yourself and not just your surroundings. So, you know, my take is on that note. You know, I can't speak for herself. I can't speak for her, but what she's saying. But you got to know you.
Yeah.
You got to know yourself,
That's
not
right.
just what's around you, but you got to know you. Now, I'm like you. I'm not trying to be no sheep.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I ain't going to be no sheep.
Yeah.
So you need to know who you are and what you can handle and not handle. Because you and I know that if you consider yourself a weak link,
Right.
if somebody grab you, what you really think that's going to happen?
You're going to probably scream, holler. You're going to go in and remember there's fight, there's flight, and there's freeze. Flight is okay. Fight is outstanding if you don't have a choice. Freeze means you're a super victim. You get so caught up in fear that you can't do anything.
So would you say one of those techniques to work on that, since you got to know yourself, is put yourself in mental situations?
Exactly.
You know, even though it may not ever happen to you, but if you think it through, in case it do happen, you've been there before.
Right.
Like some people have never been physically assaulted before.
Yes.
People have never been hit in the face. Unfortunately or fortunately, I have 6 brothers, so I know how to take a few blows. But everybody didn't have my background. So if you have never been physically assaulted or someone been in your personal space, do that mentally. You don't have to put yourself in harm's way. You can do it mentally. Like they said, if you think your way through it, you process it, at least you've been there before. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. That's why I suggested early on, watch the news, read the paper, see what's going on in the country. You know, I mean, it has nothing to do with income level. It has nothing to do with race, religion. We are a country with a lot of victims in it.
A lot of victims. And don't believe everything that you see on TV. Everything on TV ain't always real. Some people think it is.
Yeah. You know, like I said, my biggest worry, you know, when it comes to this topic, and then, you know, I have to tell my little story. I was the oldest, and I did have a lot of family members, but they were too old to be fighting my fights for me. So my mother came to the conclusion, oh, you know what, you sort of small for your age, and they put me in boxing, they put me in wrestling, and, you know, wrestling I was pretty good at. Boxing I hated because I would win fights and be hurt. And then I found out about the martial arts. And I would tell you, in all the confrontations I've had in like 47 years, I might have got hit 7 or 8 times in all the confrontations, because it's the art of self-defense. It's how not to get hit. That's the secret. If I let you hit me, you may take me out. So I never intend on letting anybody just come up to me. We got this thing, we call it 3 steps. I back up 3 times, cautiously. You move forward 2 times aggressively. On number 3, I do whatever I got to do to save me. So when we go to court, everybody's seen it say, this guy was backing away. He was saying, I don't want to fight you. Well, the aggressor, sometimes they look at that as weakness. And I call that a trick. You just got caught in the hook. So in reality, and I've taught dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of martial arts students. And I've taught women's self-defense classes. I've taught elderly self-defense classes. So what happens is, this is what you have to do. I'm assuming that the majority of us have something that we would do to save ourselves. So if your best weapon, you think you a puncher, I'm going to make you 100 times better puncher. If you think you a kicker, I'm going to make you 100 times better kicker. I'm going to take your strength and I'm going to put it on steroids. That's where I would focus at. When I do classes with women and I got 4 or 5 hours, I don't try to teach them 50 moves. I find out what that woman's comfortable with. If it happens to be wrestling, I'm going to intensify her wrestling technique. Everybody don't have a lifetime to train. In my organizations, it takes 5 years to get a black belt. That's the first degree. Now, I can't speak for other organizations. They do it differently. But when you see one of our black belts, they can go anywhere on the planet and represent us. We take them to open tournaments when we take them to tournaments. The parents are always welcome to come. I'm saying this because if you decide that you're going to go to take a martial arts course, or your children or your grandchildren, anybody who don't want you to sit there to watch that whole class, get out of there fast.
Get the moving.
I have nothing to hide. You could come in there a few times. You're going to get very comfortable. You can come, you can leave. But when people tell you come back and get them in 90 minutes, I mean, what are we doing here? And if they don't take them to open tournaments, open means they fight in different styles, they go into different cities. If everything they do is in-house, I would lose confidence in that instructor.
Yep. Not learning much.
Because even if they lose in the tournament, they're going to learn something.
Yep.
But if I take them to an inter-organizational tournament, guess who always win? It don't make no difference who win. They all my students, or they all in my organization. So just keep that in mind. I don't care if you carry mace. I don't care if you carry a small crowbar in your pocket. I don't care if you put a brick in your purse. Be able to defend yourself. And if somebody ever try to put you in an automobile, you stand and you fight as hard as you can, because 95% of people who get taken away in a car, we don't see them again.
And how many hours does it take for us to find them? We have to find them within how many hours before we say that there's a possibility that they could be
Right.
just like gone, dead, missing, or whatever? How many hours? 24? 24 hours.
It depends on the age.
Right.
Depends on the age. So if
Right.
somebody gets snatched, or if they missing, or they didn't report somewhere within the 24-hour time frame, then there might be.
And this is another safety tip. Let people know where you're going.
Let them know where you're going.
That's critical.
It's okay. Just text them, hey, I'm going to the mall. So we'll have a starting point. A lot of people like to be top secretive, or you live out of state and you don't, like a lot of people, they relocate and they move different places, they job taking places. Just let your family know that loves you, hey, this is the last place she went. So you won't be missing for a week and later and we're looking for you.
And I say that to Melvin. I tell Melvin that right now. When you leave and go somewhere, you need to tell me where you're going. I
Yes.
mean, it's not that I'm trying to keep up with you, but if you leave from one location going to another one, you still need to tell me where you are.
Yes.
Because I don't want nobody knocking at my door saying, was such and such and such. No, because they were over at Johnny Ray house. No, yes, they are at Johnny Ray house. Now, all of a sudden, you're not at Johnny Ray's, you're somewhere else.
And Johnny Ray said he left here 3 hours ago.
Exactly. And nobody
She
knows
left
where
here
you
3
are.
hours ago.
Correct. Nobody knows where you are. And I agree with that. So what I'm going to say, and we still talking about this self-defense. And I don't know if Master Forte, because that's what I'm going to call him, World Studies, if he has a couple of techniques that he wants to show us, or, present or tell us what we got to do, we gonna do some little we gonna
Can't take her nowhere.
we gonna do a little something, just something, I don't know what, but we don't want to be too strenuous, because it ain't like we got a big old gym to be doing all this in. But I'm sure there's something that he can actually show. We can show you guys what we're doing, and how you do it to protect yourself. I mean, especially as women.
Yeah. Hey, the first thing I want you to understand, ladies, this may be a fight for your life. This may be a fight for your womanhood. You got to flush all that stuff down the toilet about worrying about how bad you're going to hurt him or hurt her. See, that's that warrior mindset. Okay? I didn't want to kick him in his junk. I didn't want to scratch him in his eye. No, that's what you got to do. He's bigger, stronger. It's men out here. They wolves. What can I tell you? Until Uncle Bob show up. Now, if you got that Uncle Bob in your life, like I told my daughters, anybody you think you're going to date need to come see me.
Oh, my.
He need to already understand that the only thing he can do is hurt you and commit suicide.
Oh, geez.
And if he's not suicidal, then I ain't got to worry about him. See, you got to impress these men that way. I had my sisters date guys from families as tough as mine. But see, all tough guys don't like to deal with each other. So the tough people in his family say, hey, that's Forte and them daughter. So you might want to treat her with a little bit of respect, because we don't want to go to war with that other family.
But why is it so difficult for young women to understand that that's what they need from these men? They need to be treated with respect. Because if they are treated with respect, then they don't have to worry about Forte family.
Right.
They ain't got to worry about it for nothing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, well, all I'm saying is this. For those of us who blessed to have daughters, especially daughters. Now, if we raise our boys to be kings, then they're going to treat women all right anyway. Okay? If the boys don't see mama getting smacked around and pushed around, he's not likely to do that to another woman. See, this is something that we got to understand. Children are impressionable all the way into their late teens. And when you get a teenage son who ready to fight a man twice, 3 times his side because he's disrespecting you, you done raised a great kid.
Yes, you have, I must say.
Okay? So just keep that in mind. You know, like I said, everybody, thank God, is not going through these things, but some people is. Now, did you bring those shoes?
I did not. I forgot.
Okay, well, let me
Forte.
tell them about that.
Okay. You want to show it though, or you want to
No,
tell
I'm
it?
going to tell them about it.
You gonna tell them about it?
Yeah.
We gonna tell them about the shoes, and then we gonna make a move.
Right.
Are
right.
they big enough?
Them big enough? Them good enough?
Yeah. Now, here's the deal. Now, one of the young ladies, she said that you got to know yourself. Okay? So if you know yourself and you know you're not a fighter, and you got them pumps on, them red bottoms or whatever,
Weapons?
with that little bitty tiny heel, okay, that's a weapon. You take that shoe off, you get in a corner, and you start swinging at his throat, his eyes, his solar plex with that. It's just like you got a weapon. You know? Yeah, an ink pen. I mean, look at this. He bigger, stronger. This is a weapon. But you got to have the confidence to use this. So what I want to say to you, I asked her to bring some boots with a big heel, and I asked her to bring some pumps. Because the first thing you got to do if you're going to run, you got to get out them pumps. But don't leave them. If you can pick them up and run with them, now it's something in your hand that you can start swinging with that's pointy at the bottom. Did that make sense? If you got on them boots, man, y'all women wear some beautiful boots these days. And some of them got some serious heels on them. You can use that boot as a baseball bat. You grab the leather part of that boot and you start swinging the other part of that boot. So just think about personal safety and think about your children. What would you do? It's a scenario I read here about you driving down the street, minding your own business, using your new car, and somebody bumped your car. We all heard about bump and rob. Used to be a real big problem in this country. Well, the other car stopped, you stop. You get out, you see it's no real damage to your car. The other driver gets out. You both discussing no real damage. We don't really need the police. And next thing you know, 2 people get out of his car, knock you down and take your car. Or threaten you for your keys if you got them in your hand. Well, you know, I would simply tell my wife and daughter, unless you're really prepared to go to war, get a car up. There's no need to take a beat down and lose the car. Did that make sense? Give it up. It's a license plate. Preferably you got insurance. When you decide to fight for something, make sure that it's worth it. That's all I want to say to you. Because there's so many tricks out here. I remember my wife was buying them expensive Jordans. Before I really prepared him to be in combat. So one day I was reading these articles about kids standing in the urinal, getting hit in the head, waking up with their Jordans gone. Walking down the street, somebody knock them out and take their Jordans. So I said, Terrence, listen to me, man. I said, if you outmanned and somebody want them shoes, you got 2 choices. You could run, you could fight, and the third choice is you might have to get his shoes up.
Yeah.
I would rather have you come back home whole and get you some more shoes than to put you in a situation where you got to fight 2 or 3 guys and you don't have the skill level to deal with that over some gym shoes. Now, I know, you take a cell phone from a kid now, boy, he'll turn into Superman.
Ooh, Jesus.
But you got to address this, not even just the skill level. People don't fight fair anymore.
Nope.
People are usually coming because most cowards need something to be their power. And most of them carrying guns.
Most of them
So
carrying
therefore,
guns.
let it go. All the stuff can be replaced. Because we
Right.
teach that in schools.
Yeah.
All that stuff can be replaced.
A phone
But-
could be replaced.
Yes, like when you talk about, you have to start with your mindset.
Right.
It's about surviving. Because Forte used to say this all the time. Before 9/11, what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Before 9/11, you can have a bad day on an airplane. Right?
Yep.
Now you have a bad day on the airplane. You duct tape to the floor, and people are giving you the business.
Your head hitting the thing.
So
everything.
therefore, but now we gonna survive this by any means necessary. So therefore, while we out here, you don't let no one take your power, but the mindset has to change. No matter what physical condition you are in, if your mind says survival, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole country changed after 911.
Yep.
They used to tell you on the airplane all over the world, we're having problems, just sit there, we're going to handle it. Well, no, we don't say that anymore. Well, first of all, the pilot is in a bunker now. The only
You can't
person,
even get in
the
there.
only person I worry about on the airplane is the pilot.
That's right.
I don't worry about the citizens. I don't worry about anybody but the pilot. Because if he loses his mind, we're done.
You got that right.
But if 2 or 3 guys decide they want to take the plane, in the United States now, we got a place called Drake in Cincinnati. It's a rehab hospital. And that's where you're going.
Unfortunately, that doctor got beat up by somebody, you know.
Well, he got beat up by authorities.
Yeah, and he was just trying to.
And now he's a rich man.
Yeah, he is. You know, it's like, if you wear glasses, you can break your glasses up because they can be replaced, and
Right.
you can actually just jab somebody with with the arm of your glasses. It's a lot that you can do to defend yourself, you know. And I went out and I got my nice little
the loud
things,
whistles.
you know, because
Yeah.
we give these away because you see the little light, you know, and it flashes. It's a keychain, you know, it's a keychain and all of that. But at the end of it, because we give these to the senior citizens when we go into the senior citizens to teach safety in the homes. So you got the little light, but one thing that but you don't understand because it just looked like it's just something normal and it's blue and it's got the little light on it. You know, you can blow the whistle. You know, and that's pretty loud. That's pretty loud, you know, because if you blow it, blow the whistle. Boop, boop, boop. Hey, my California people know about that. They know about that. Blow the whistle, which is one of my favorite songs. So, blow the whistle. I mean, they blow it as many times as you have to. I mean, we give these away when we go do safety presentations. So, think about it. It's a whole lot of stuff that you can do for safety. So,
Because you're bringing attention to yourself that make
Yeah.
other people look.
see the little light?
Yeah, and if you choose to get any kind of weapon, I don't care if it's a knife, if it's a bat, remember, they can take that weapon from you if you're out there messing around. A gun, whatever weapon you choose, train with the weapon. If it's mace and you mace them and it don't work, then you got to have a plan B. You know, if you're carrying a taser and you shoot them and it don't work, you got to have a plan B.
If you have mace, know your reaction to mace.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Now, ladies out there, you know, everybody done told you this, and I'm going to show just a couple simple things. But remember what I said to you. If you're not going to take a formal class that's going to take you months and months and months to master some technique to defend yourself, then I'm going to get you in there and I'm going to find out what you're comfortable with. And I'm going to spend most of my time strengthening what you already have. Now, everybody know about the palm strike to the nose. If you hit them right, you can give them 2 black eyes. If you hit them right, you may put them down permanently. It's just a simple little palm strike.
And we're going to show that. We're going to demonstrate that little palm
Okay.
strike. We ain't going to hit each other in the nose. But
Right.
we're going to demonstrate.
But remember this, if you decide to kick a person, in this case we talk about a man, understand that if your kick isn't effective, he's going to be 4 times as mad.
Yeah.
So if you're going to kick him, I'm going to show you how to kick him, okay? You kick him with the instep of your foot. So that way you got everything from the toes all the way up to your knees that can hit that spot. And when they go, ooh, then you got a choice. You could kick him again. You could hit him in the side of the head. Or you could go ahead and become a good runner as long as there's a place to run to. I was always taught if you're going to run, have a place in mind that you're running to. Because if you're just running and they happen to be a better runner than you, then they're going to catch you when you're exhausted and they still got energy.
Yep.
And they could be multiple adversaries. Don't get me wrong now. Okay? Multiple adversaries. Because remember, the wolf is really a coward. He's energized when he got a pack with him. But when he's hungry, he is aggressive. And when he's not hungry, he look for what we call victims of opportunity.
Yep.
And I'm comparing that wolf to men now. Okay? And if you got to fight another woman, I mean, you know what hurts a woman? You could be victimized by a female. One day I'm going to bring a couple women in here who I can't whoop. But they've been training their whole life. So, you can reach that skill level. You can reach it, but it takes a long time. We like to think that after you come in there the first day, we done gave you a tool that you can use to defend yourself with. And that's in a 2-hour class. So you come in there 2 times a week for several months, then you can become an expert. There's speed, there's strength, and there's technique. And fear can be used for strength.
Yep.
You got to take that adrenaline and use it against that person.
You better.
Don't let that adrenaline lock your muscles.
Might be the only way you live.
It's true stories. A kid is in the car is burning, and she turned the car over and got her kid out. She don't know how she did it. That's super strength, but it only lasts a few seconds.
That's world study.
Okay? It only lasts a few seconds. The athletes get that burst out there playing that football. We seen the Bengals in Pittsburgh knocking each other silly out there, right?
Well, we ain't gonna talk about that because we got a lot of haters in the house.
We ain't got that much time.
You got haters.
Let me show
All
you
right,
guys.
we gonna move over to the next room and show you a couple of strikes. So hold on a minute. Let's make some adjustments.
Okay, leave them right there.
Take this microphone. I think it'll work. We're going to go to the next room. Hold tight, folks. We're going to show you. I got the little bag in there, Forte. I had to go get it. Bring my little microphone. We're going to make who the big? All right, hang in there, people. We're making adjustments. We're making adjustments. We're trying to move. We're trying to move.
Okay.
Trying to move, people. Who's gonna be the crash dummy?
I'm going to sacrifice myself. Just hope y'all don't hurt me too bad. Okay, I'm going to sacrifice myself.
I'm looking. You can let it go just like that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now, come on over here.
Come on over here.
We're not going to beat up our guests.
We ain't gonna beat her. We can beat her up. She can handle it.
Now here's the deal, seriously. She's walking down the street,
Walking down the street.
and all of a sudden somebody does this to you. What do? Immediately. Right. That's a good one. Okay. That's
Drop down. I'm gonna
All
drop
right.
down.
All right. Now, when you drop down, how about you take your head, as soon as I grab you, and you put that head back here, and you hit them. Go ahead. It ain't going to hurt you. Okay?
Bump heads with your head.
No, your
My
back
head.
of your head
Yeah.
to his face.
Gotcha.
Or his chin.
Gotcha.
Did that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay? Because believe me, this is a lot softer than this.
I'll hold the pillow while you.
Okay? So, I'm grabbing you.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Okay, now, check this out. You see this elbow right here?
Uh-huh.
You see this one? Okay, now, when I grab you this time, this is what I want you to do. You can either use the elbow and come straight back, or you can do this.
Put more power.
Do you see how you hit me?
Mhm.
See, the
So
move,
it don't matter where I hit him, just hit him. Or
you aiming.
okay, I'm
for
aiming
the-
for the.
Right.
You go. You got
I'm over
this.
here.
You got this.
Yes, I got
Okay.
this.
He grabbed me from the back.
Right. Now, remember when you did this earlier? You dropped.
Uh huh.
This time when you drop, I don't want you to hit the ground. I want you to drop and,
Okay.
do that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Drop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Sucker.
Now, this one is famous. The guy in your face,
Talking smack.
he talking smack. You don't feel like you can run. There's nobody there, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, this is the deal here. Everybody familiar with the knee, right?
Mm-hmm.
They go here, they say, girl, take your knee and you come up between his legs as hard as you can. Right? See, what you want to do is loosen him up so you can get away.
Right.
Okay? Thank you. Okay. what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Right? And let me tell you what else you're going to be doing. You're going to be screaming and hollering.
Okay.
You want him to know that you crazy.
Okay. I am.
In karate, you see we do this? We do this all the time. Ah!
Okay.
That's part of the psychological attack.
So every time I hit him,
Go crazy.
And you're bringing attention to yourself.
Got
Go
it.
crazy.
Got it.
All right, give it a couple good shots.
So he grabbed me.
Right.
He didn't grab me.
Right.
Ah! Ah!
Yeah. That's right.
That
That's
sounds
right.
like what? Ah! Ah!
Remember this now.
Get off me, get off! Sucker!
Remember this. If you want to holler,
Don't do that. I got to
no,
scream loud.
no, you want to scream fire. Everybody concerned about fire. You just out there screaming because some man whooping your butt. Even though they looking for a fire, now they see you being under duress, maybe they'll call the police for you.
Got it.
Now the cell phone is your friend,
Yep.
okay? Now here's a time when the GPS saves you. See, 911 is nothing to play with. But if you perceive danger and you dial 911 and they get there and there was no danger, they'll accept that. Because if you'd waited another 5 or 10 seconds, it may have really been danger. Make sense?
Right.
Now, we know when banks get robbed, they give a general description, and they say what happened. But when you want to go complain about something, they want more information. I say, well, when the bank got robbed, dude had his face covered, y'all still found him, right?
Yep.
But you want me to give you the guy first name, last name, and social security number? That's not real. Now, you said this earlier, or you said it. If you got to fight, get his DNA in your fingernails. At least let Uncle Bob and them know who to get.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Who they looking for?
Okay? Now, preferably the police going to take care of it. But if you sit there and he hits you like this, now you know how to get out of this. You know to go against the thumbs, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Bring it to you. Right.
But see, normally this is what I do.
This is the
too.
weakest link, the thumb. That'll work.
I go
Right.
either go up
Right.
or
Going down is a little harder if you're big and strong. Because, see, he got more control of you here.
Okay.
All he got is thumbs here.
So if he grabs my
Always
wrist,
go up.
Go up.
And guess what you're going to do? There you go.
Ah!
I know she'll do it too.
No, you know I will.
Okay? So, realistically, okay, if you can get away, get away. Okay?
Good.
I mean that. I already told you. My daughter better give up her 2016 before she take a beat down.
Yeah.
Just give up the car.
Give up the car.
Now, you mess with that 2016 and she got that heater in her purse.
Then that's on you.
See, it's not the car, it's what you're doing to her. And that's what you got to remember when you start dealing with law enforcement. What's the favorite words? I what? Citizens can't fear for their life? I fear for my life.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's the
Okay.
catch-all right there.
Okay.
You got me a girl with that one.
That's the catch-all right
Yeah.
there. I know,
He
it's
got a lot of
like,
sayings.
look, I'm not.
Well, we so used to law enforcement saying that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you mean that I can't fear for my life?
Yes.
That my neighbor across the street can't fear for his life? See, get your mindset right. I never want to take another human life. In all the years, I've never had to take somebody's life. I had to hurt some people, but they still here.
That's a blessing.
Okay?
That's a blessing.
But in reality, situational awareness.
Know it. Know it, people. Know
And
it.
thanks for having me here.
Hey, you're welcome. Listen, go back and look at it. Rewind, review, look it over. There's a few things that, you get grabbed, you stomp on the foot, you hit them in the, and you go,
Okay,
do all
can
that.
you tell us where, if they want to take
Yeah, I'm
something
gonna put it
this
on.
class?
I'm gonna put it on the Facebook
Yeah.
page.
Okay,
But
okay.
he teaches self-defense. So
If
when can
you
they
in
find?
Greater Cincinnati, I will send you to Priceless Martial Arts in Forest Park. Okay? And I'll give you that address and you can put it on
What
there.
about CCW?
CCW, I will send you to Ride or Die Gun Training. That's exactly what it sounds like. Ride or Die. RIDEORDIE Gun Training. And you're going to learn everything the state wants you to learn. And if you happen to look like me, you're going to get a whole lot of stuff dealing with what you need to know as a black person carrying a gun in the United States. So we're going to definitely do what the state says you have to do. And then we're going to go beyond that because we're unique.
Yes. My job,
We're unique.
Yep. DWB, baby.
So I don't want to beat up on the good cops, but if you're a bad cop, I ain't got nothing good to say about you.
And you're going to learn a lot
Okay.
in both classes. And I'll put them
Right.
both on the website.
Right.
This is my man, T. Forte, a.k.a. World Studies, and my dear friend, Andrea Smythe Taylor. We in the house at Tuck Radio. This is how we do it, okay? This is how we do it. Remember, it's the holiday season. Be safe, people. And guess what?